everybody, welcome in. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to click on this video and watch it. I really appreciate it. And today we're going to be talking about this new collection from Buxom. I gave it a quick mention in the anti-haul video saying I got this in PR and I noticed some interest in seeing like a full review. So it is this White Russian palette. They've re-released or sort of repackaged the iconic White Russian Plumping lip cream, which has not really changed on the inside, but they've just changed the outer look. They've put out one of their new lipsticks, which this is an Emily Award-winning lipstick here in my best lipstick category for high-end. It's the Full Force Plumping lipstick, but this shade is, guess what, White Russian. And then they also have one of their highlighters now in that shade as well. So I thought I could just kind of get the face all ready. You know, I've got my foundation, concealer, powder, and bronzer and brow on, and then I could just go ahead and do all the rest and sort of talk about it and review it as I go. So this palette, I mentioned it in the other video, but why does that make me feel like Allie Glines is just kind of peeking in, just that looks so much like her. Anyways, on the inside, it's a combo palette. Okay, so we've got two blushes here. These are their Wanderlust Blushes. I think they call those primer-infused blushes, and they're really gorgeous shades. One's sort of a softer baby pink, one's a little bit deeper, and I think they're very wearable. And then we also have 6 eyeshadows. As far as matte and shimmer, this blush right here seems to have, I think, a gentle satin finish. And then among the eyeshadows, we have really just one true matte, although I think this one performs overall matte. It does have a very subtle microfine sparkle infused. Oh, I'm sorry, this one's matte as well, your cream up here. This one has a little satiny finish, and then you've got 2 shimmers right here and here. And honestly, the first time I used this palette, I really didn't like the way the look turned out. And it may have just been user error, but I felt like I was kind of struggling in terms of having this super duper dark shade and everything else feeling so much lighter than that, and not having like a real easy transition into those shades, you know? In time, I've played with it and I've realized that Smoke Show can be kind of the buddy to this. Even though it does have shimmer, it can kind of help with the blending and the smoothing out of that darkness, but I'll get to that when I do the eyeshadow. Right now, let's do the blush. I'm gonna start with the lightest shade right here, and this seems to be like this matte sort of baby pink type color. And by the way, baby pink seems to take over this look a bit more than you may expect because of the color of the lipstick. That in the picture on Ulta's website, it looks more nude, but it really definitely has, I think, more of a pinky color to it in actuality. And yeah, just much more pink presence in that shade than the lip gloss has. So we'll get there. There's just so much to talk about. I feel all over the place. But here's my blush that I've got on that lightest shade. Now see what happens when we add a little bit more depth. I really love both the colors. I put the deeper one just maybe a little bit more like back here and on the side. Stay out of this hair. Beautiful. Like I love the pigmentation. I think it's great quality. I have one Buxom single blush that I purchased what feels like quite a while ago, but that's really all my experience has been with their blushes, and I just think these are great. But let me tell you, one of my favorite parts, just period, of the whole thing, probably the favorite thing out of this whole collection, is this highlighter. Guys, this is the Wanderlust Glow Highlighter in White Russian, and I absolutely love the texture. I love what it does on the skin. It almost seems like, I mean, it's a fine line for me with highlighters. Sometimes you get too much on, or you get it in the wrong places, and it looks like it's accentuating every texture variance on your skin, or making every fine line stand out. Or sometimes, on a rare occasion, a highlighter can actually seem like it's blurring those parts of your skin, and this one seems to do that. The shade on it's really interesting to look at in the pan. It looks practically like just dull. Do you get what I'm saying? There's nothing over the top impressive about the way it looks there in the packaging. And you see it on my finger, I think you can really get a sense of the sheen, but somehow the tone does not really come through on this until you get it applied. And there is a subtle hint of like brightening pink, just that cool brightening tone that's in this that you really can't pick up on any other way than in application. So I'm going to start right up here and pop this on. And does anybody see like that coolness that this shade possesses? And the fact that it's not chunky at all, it's really giving me that glorious brightening look that I want, but I feel like it's almost blurring everything up there in that zone, you know, just texture, whatever, skin tone in general. Like, I love it. It's hard these days for a highlight to be special because I feel like we've seen it all. And there are some pinky highlights that I do really like. Pat McGrath has a gorgeous one that's in like a trio highlighter palette, but it's definitely like for sure pink, you know. This one is just barely dipping its toe into that coolness of tone, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's wonderful, worn just all over the face. You can get it up there on the forehead area. Cupid's bow, I mean, any amount of pink that it has, it comes off more on a brightening level. Just a subtle tone shift there, and I think it is so pretty. It's pigmented. It doesn't take a lot of product to get the effect you're after. Favorite part of the whole collection. Was not expecting that, but that's the way it is. I'm now going to pop on a little bit of setting mist. This is just the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow that I continue to play with and continue to try to figure out if it's doing its job. I mean, I think it is, but I don't think it's quite like the real classic all-nighter level. I'm gonna pop on a little Milani Eyeshadow Primer. Can you believe I'm still squeezing out? It's like that tube of toothpaste that just won't die. Backup is ready and waiting. I thought I'd need it a lot sooner than this, considering I use this stuff every single day. But I love that I put on that highlight and now the skin looks more perfect somehow. It's just funny. I can't get over it. It's a texture thing, it's a tone thing. And you know what? Since we've got two different lip colors here, what I'll go ahead and do is pop on the White Russian Plumping lip cream for now, and we can kind of, you know, you can see that on the lips. You can let that simmer with you a little bit about the way that looks, and then I'll pop on lipstick. I'll switch them out at the end and you can see what that looks like. But this is the catalyst for the whole collection. This is, I think, probably one of their most popular shades of this full-on plumping lip cream. What makes a lip cream from this line different from a lip polish? Well, there still is some sheerness to some of them. They try to be a little more like opaque, I think, and a little less transparent compared to the lip polishes, which tend to always have some level of sparkle in them. I think you'll be able to see here, it looks kind of nude going on, but yet it's not as fully opaque as, you know, a lot of nude glosses you might run across. It's nude, it incorporates maybe a little bit of peach, little bit of pink. What's interesting is how the lipstick adds in quite a bit more pink. But a thing I've always liked about these is how you put them on and there's that immediate cooling sensation. Both these and the lipsticks have it. And I think I'm even more impressed about the lipsticks having it just because that seems a little more rare to me. I know Milani, the Keep It Full lip plumpers, they've kind of taken over for these in my book. They've done exactly what Buxom is doing with the feel and the different finishes and all that. Milani Keep It Full has basically made Buxom attainable at drugstore prices. Is it really and truly plumping? It's hard to say, just because when you put this on, your lips do take on a different look because they seem smoother, they seem more free of lines, you know, everything looks a little more perfect on the surface of the lips. So they may be doing a little something. But yeah, that's White Russian. We're gonna move on now to this guy. I'm gonna start off with just the matte standard shade. This is called Decadent. This matte mid-tone in my crease. So it's a very neutral shade, really. Not too warm, not like a super cool grayish brown either. But as you can see, it creates a nice gentle contrast here. What I was kind of looking for in this palette was something that more so like is kind of close to this dark, but not that dark. So it would help that merge in with the looks a little easier. I think it can be done, but you have to be more careful maybe than I was willing to be the first time I used this palette. I could see, I was wearing it in a video where I was talking about something else, and I could see when I looked down, just like, I felt like things weren't as cleanly blended as I would normally have. Okay, so as you can see, I'm working this shade all the way in here throughout the entire crease. I'm now gonna take my big fluffy brush and go in to take a dip. And that can come right up here. Now I'm going to try deepening up that crease a little bit with this shade called Smoke Show, which does have shimmer, but it's as deep as we're going to get without going to this one yet. So let's go in there. This could be a pretty shade just for a quick all over one shadow look, I think. As could Indulge, which is sort of bringing the rose gold vibes there in the corner. Really pretty shade. See how that shade, even though it does have shimmer, if you're applying it with a fluffy brush and you're kind of shearing it out, it can work for you. It's deepening things up just a little bit. Okay, how does that look so far? We happy there? You know what though? I think these Buxom lip polishes, they might be a little more deeply cooling compared to Milani. Like, it's feeling real strong on my lips. Now I am going to move into this darkest shade. This is called After Dark. And again, we're looking at a deep, dark, nearly black brown with a little bit of microfine sparkle that really doesn't do a whole lot for you as far as when it gets on the eye. I feel like this is working for you more so just as a dark matte shadow. So I'm starting to pat this right there on the outside. I can see I've already gotten a little fallout here. Yay. I didn't think I had the brush overly loaded, but okay. See how this shade is just, it's very dark, it's near black, so it's super cool. And sometimes I feel like you just kind of got to watch it as you get your blending here. I am patting it on the lid, and then I'm also flipping it and trying to get a little bit up into the crease too, so there's not some kind of jump off. Now what I think I'll do is take a little bit smaller brush than the E25. It's the E25's little sis called the E27. And I feel like this can get in there even deeper, but still has some fluff. And I'm going to go right over that merging of that shade, that darkest shade, into the crease with everything that was already there. And just kind of buff around on that for a minute and get it as smooth as I can get it. It like kind of shears out the darkness a bit. See what I'm doing? I guess there are some times where I use some shadows together, like in the elf video the other day. I was putting shades together and it practically felt like things were blending themselves, you know, like they were so user-friendly, they were so soft, they were so just merging with ease. This, while I think it can be a really pretty look, you ain't gonna get there without some effort. You gotta very much on purpose seek out to get that dark shade nicely integrated with everything else because it's so much darker. It's nicely pigmented and it's so much darker than everything else. Now that I've pretty much gotten like the depth level and everything, I'd like to see some of this satin finish shade called, clean up some of the fallout, Reveal. The other day I used a lot of this just kind of around the outer edge, and I did think it was kind of smoothing for the overall appearance of things. Just this sort of beigey, not total matte, not much shimmer either. Just kind of letting that come around the outside. So I'm going to take that darkest shade with a pencil brush and kind of let that just come down here too. Define the outer part of the eye, outer lower lash line. Let it get kind of smoky, but I'm not looking to really encircle the eye. Honestly, this shade's greatest function, which I haven't really tapped into yet, could be as eyeliner, you know? Angled liner brush. It's so pigmented, it's so dark. Wear it like a powder liner, even across the upper lash line. My flat brush here, and we're gonna go for Indulge. This is that really nice looking rose gold. And we'll pop some of that right here on the lid. For some reason, I'm not jumping up and down about the way that shade applies with the brush, and it really shouldn't have any problem. Like it feels like a very standard shimmer. Shouldn't have a problem going off of that brush, but I feel like I get more punch when I just dab it over with the finger. Doesn't really bother me, just throwing that out there. Now I feel the need to put a little bit of smoke show on the border, like where those shades merge, because again, so shiny and so dark. Side by side, you need a little like tape right between those two. Okay, something I see a lot of when I look at the front here is a major highlight around the inner corner that really doesn't exist in this palette. Like there's nothing that brightening and light. I wonder if that satin finish could be where it's coming from, or maybe they've taken the highlight and put it on there, which really makes no sense for your trademark picture on the palette to not have something coming from the palette. But hang on, this shade could be kind of light. Doesn't seem quite as shimmery as what's on the front, but not super brightening, not nearly what the picture shows. Maybe just the matte. That offers brightness, but it's clearly shimmer. Clearly she's got shimmer right there around the inner corner. It's a light shimmer. Let's try a little bit of the highlight, see if we can get there. Even that just doesn't have the same tone as what's in that picture. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna get my lashes done to complete this eye look, and then we'll talk about the lipstick. So here's the finished eye look. I did pop on some lashes, but guys, I gotta tell you, I had to do a full-on concealer repair right in this area. I was doing mascara, so my mirror was up like this close, and I could see all this fallout, like a huge patch of fallout right in here, and it seems like it was probably this shade called Smoke Show, which is sad because that kind of needs to be such a multi-purpose kind of like, you might use it on your lid, you might use it to help you blend things out. And I guess there's just a fallout tendency, I believe, in that shade, and also a little bit in the darkest shade that I had noticed too. And that really stinks because there's a lot of blending necessary with this look to help your deepest color work in with everything else. And to see that it's gonna be fussy in that way is not a good sign. I did take off the lip polish. Look at how pinky that left my lips. My lips are not normally like that pinky pigmented. And it wasn't from color here, I think it was from the minty, like the tingle and everything. It kind of brought a little more color to my lips. But now we're gonna pop on this lipstick. So this is the White Russian Full Force Plumping Lipstick. I do love this line of lipsticks. They have a beautiful line of nudes. Check out the shades Supermodel and Pop Star. But here's the White Russian shade. And again, prepare to see a little more pink than you might have had in your mind on this one. I think it's pretty, you know, I don't mind it. I actually could see myself wearing this shade, and I have worn this shade as I've been testing this stuff out, but I was thinking it would be a little more nude because I see like everything in this palette sort of follows a little bit more of a rose gold, like nudie type thing. I mean, it works nice with the cheek and all, but that's the shade they're calling White Russian. Honestly, I feel like their color called Supermodel from their nudes line would be a little bit, like, I don't know, better suited to the name and to the line. It's got a little more warmth and a little more neutral going on. I mean, they can do what they want, it's their line. Or maybe even their shade from the nudes line called Heartthrob. Now look at White Russian next to that. So much more pink. One other difference you'll notice is that in the White Russian special lipstick, Buxom is written in kind of a nude shade, and it's like silver basically on all the others. So I don't know, guys. I mean, for me, it's a lip color shade that I could see myself enjoying and wearing, and I think it's fine. I just think it's kind of funny that it turned out so pink when the iconic shade that's been around for so many years in their line is really more nude. It's just not quite what I was anticipating. Maybe you want to see just a hint of gloss on top of this. And I've tried this full on, like a lot of that on top of the lipstick. You still are going to see lots of pink. So yeah, guys, this is one of those interesting experiences where you look at the finished look, and I mean, I feel like I look good today. Like, I'm liking what's happening on the face and on the eyes, but it's like I also know what it took to get there, and I know how many, you know, great neutral palettes exist in the marketplace these days. And for me, you know, while I love the blushes, love those, I'm really not wowed by the eyeshadows. I just think it took a lot of work. There was fallout. I can get this look, I can come to this place that I'm at from just countless other palettes. I do like the combo thing, I like the multitasking, but I just can't sit here and say like I love it so much because it just gives me a little bit of a feeling when I'm about to use it, like, oh, this is gonna be some work. What I absolutely love the most is the highlighter. I think that is special. I think it's a special tone. I think it's a really nice finish, and just the pigmentation level, the way that comes across looking on the skin, so nice. I really love that, absolutely love it. Not just saying like, oh, that's my favorite out of this collection. I really think it's a standout. The Plumping Lip Cream in White Russian, I feel like it's been around so long, chances are you know whether you like that or not. Just kind of that milky, like light nude, splash of peach, splash of pink type of shade. You know, it's all right. It's the catalyst for the collection. It's not gonna be the kind of shade I look to wear every single day, but it's nice to have. And I do like the lipstick, although again, just kind of unexpected with the pinkiness. And it also doesn't look that pink on the website, so I think it's very important to know just how pink that turns out to be. I mean, kind of like baby pink. I think it actually looks kind of flattering on me, and I do adore the formula. It was just surprising to me that they went in that direction for that particular lipstick in this particular collection. But I would love to know your thoughts in the comments section. If you've tried any of this, how did it work for you? What did you think from what you saw today? Thanks to everyone who requested this video. Leave more requests in the comments for me. I am revamping my video to-do list, so I would love to hear what you want to see, and I will see you again soon. Bye.